oh boy. Hair extensions at home on your own with zero experience sounds disastrous. This is a skill that takes a lot of practice and a lot of know-how in order to do it right. And if you do it wrong, your hair will fall out. And I hate that. If you're gonna do it yourself, I caution you. It's gonna get messy. Let's check it out.
Today I'm gonna be teaching you something that I probably shouldn't be teaching you. And that is how to put in your own extensions.
I love that she knows that she should not be teaching us this, and she is going for it. There's nothing like a tutorial video from somebody who has no idea what they're doing on a subject that they're trying to teach. It's great to watch. I love it.
I've had extensions since like 2016. I taught myself how to use my own, how to put in my own extensions because they're very expensive. And I have very, very, very fine hair, but I have a lot. You can tell it's very thick, but like the individual hair strands are very fine. When I have extensions, it's just like a little tricky because they always show unless they're put in a very, very specific place. And so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to save several $100s a month and just put them in myself exactly where I want them. I film a ton of videos on TikTok about how I do them, but like I never really go into detail, so I'm gonna go into detail.
So she made some good points. She has fine, thin hair, which makes it really complicated to put extensions in without them showing. Obviously, the finer, the thinner your hair, you're gonna see all that shit going on. To me, she's not a great candidate for wefts because they show a lot unless she just puts them very low. The things that she is candidate for is some K-tip extensions. Some good normal size K-tips at the bottom, some little custom K-tips at the top, and she'll be set to go. Does say she's doing tape-ins as well, which I think is fine for her hair too. So let's see how she does this. Let's go.
Changes all the time because I've had extensions for so many years that I've collected a lot of hair over the years. I usually do beaded wefts and tape-ins. This is my weft. It's still a little messy and there's string in it because I just cut it out, but I have currently one row of beaded wefts that I put right here just to add a teeny bit of length, a little bit of thickness. It looks very natural. I really like it. But today I'm also going to be putting a few tape-ins.
See, that worries me. Personally. Obviously, you can get away with doing a weft, but to me, her hair is too fine and too thin to do a weft. I just know when that wind blows, you're gonna see that weft. And personally, it's not my style, except they are usually less pricey to get wefts put in. Maybe she got them because she was balling on a budget. I don't know. But usually, the gold standard for fine, thin hair is our beautiful K-tips.
You just like section off where you want it. So I put it like here-ish. And then basically what you do is you just take little, right along the part, you just take little itty bitty pieces like this and you put a bunch of beads on them. And then what you do, you take your hair, you rest it against the beads, and then with a needle and thread, you sew it to the bead. Well, you sew it like above the bead so that it rests on the bead. And before you know it, you have fake hair stuck to your head. Let's get started. 360-degree view of my head.
I personally feel like sewing in a weft is one of the hardest things to do yourself. I've done a lot of extensions on myself and you guys never see me with them because I hate it every time, but it's like good practice for me to do myself on myself because that's like the hardest case scenario is trying to do this shit on your own head, you know? So, anyways, I've made like my own custom K-tips. I've put in wefts, I've put in tape-ins, I've done it all to myself. And let me tell you, wefts are so hard to do yourself because sewing the back of your head, I hate it. It's like sensory overload. I can't figure out where the fuck my hand's going. You're gonna see in a second what I mean if you've never experienced this before.
I've been doing my own extensions for years, so I know where it's comfortable to have it sit on my head because I have like this. That part of my skull sticks out. Also, I remember one time I asked a cosmetologist, I was like, does it matter if my hair is clean or dirty? And she said it doesn't matter. So I prefer to do it with when my hair is dirty because there's less flyaways.
Personally, doing wefts on clean hair or doing any kind of extension work on clean hair is the best because when you do tape-ins, which says in the title she's doing tape-ins, you don't want oil in between those tape-ins. You want that hair nice and dry and clean because you're just gonna stick two pieces of tape onto each other and you're gonna hug that oil in and it's gonna slip down your hair. It probably won't fall out, but you're gonna just like put that tape on top of dirty hair. It's just like not really ideal, you know, it's kind of gross. I don't know. I'm just kind of like an OCD clean freak type A person. So personally, clean hair is my shit.
I'm just gonna lay the track on it and just feel it. And I don't like it, so I'm gonna move it. I got it where I want it. You know what? It's actually almost perfect. So I'm just gonna brush this. I just want to get like this line as clean as possible. And this is why I love when my hair is just a little greasy because then it lays so neat. neatly.
So she made a good point. So parting your hair when you're doing any kind of extension work is crucial to get right. You want that line super straight and crisp. You want it to kind of dip down in the back slightly and go up on the sides, just like how she has it. But I worry a little bit about that uneven parting right in the center back of the head. If your parting is not nice and perfect and clean, you're gonna end up putting tension on some of those hairs, and it's not going to be ideal, because that is when you start getting tension alopecia, which you're gonna hear a lot about today, because girl, that is the #1 cause of hair falling out from extensions is tension alopecia. When extensions are put in wrong, that's when it happens. So scary.
If your hair is clean, you can use like hairspray or something. What's next? Oh, okay. And then if you have flyaways, or in my case, potentially even a little bit of breakage, no judgment, there's two things you can do. You can either use a little bit of hairspray, and those little broken guys, I'm gonna brush them up so that they don't get in the extension again. Or they sell these things, it's basically Velcro. You just put it like right here.
To get all those flyaways away is really important. That way you don't clamp some of the flyaways in and then you end up breaking the flyaways off because they're just weak parts of the hair that are coming from the wrong place and you don't want to clamp it in the bead. This is hard to explain, but hopefully I'm getting the point across.
I've seen some cosmetologists do squares, I've seen some cosmetologists do rectangles, and then I also like to just hold it with 2 fingers and kind of pull on it, make sure it doesn't hurt. So then I take my bead, then I put it through the bobbin threader thing, put the bead on it, put it all the way up, make sure it's centered, and then pinch it.
Oh, yeah, maybe we just don't do that ever again. We were doing okay. But that bead is way too close to your scalp, in my opinion. She definitely took a good size section, and you definitely don't want to feel it kind of like tugging too much or hurting. You really don't want it to hurt at all, right? So that was good. But then she clamped the bead down, and she put it way too close to her scalp. What's gonna happen when you put it that close to the scalp is the bead's gonna pop off your head a little bit. It's not gonna sit down here, it's gonna pop up just a little bit. And what happens when it pops up a little bit is the hair on the bottom is being pulled really tight, and the hair on the top is not being pulled as tight. You're gonna get some tension alopecia going on until that grows out and kind of like loosens up a bit. But go down a little lower, like a 1/2 inch from the scalp is always good, and then clamp it right down onto your head. Not up here, not any kind of elevation.
And then I like to put my finger on it and pull down and just make sure that it doesn't hurt. You know how sometimes when you put in a ponytail and you have like 1 or 2 hairs out of place, and then your whole ponytail hurts and it gives you a headache? I just like to give it a little pull and just make sure that it doesn't hurt. The first time I ever did this, I think it took me like 3 hours, and I didn't start until like 10 p.m. and then I basically stayed up crying because I was tired and I wanted to go to bed and I was frustrated. Oh, okay, so I messed up a little bit. See how on this one I put the bead way too far to the side? It should be like centered.
I don't like that all the beads are standing up. Ugh. They should really sit closer to the scalp, ideally, so that you don't get any tension alopecia. Fuck. All right, well, I mean, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I guess it's her hair and like whatever, but like whatever. It's just like, I don't like the idea of tension alopecia at all.
Okay, see how that's better? It's like centered. Okay, so I have my beads. If I like actually tried to hustle, I could probably get this done pretty quickly, but the problem is I don't hustle. I have a few tracks here and I sew the corners.
Do you guys just see the back of her head? The patience that she has is incredible because wow, there is so many beads going around her head, and that seemed like it didn't stress her the fuck out. I would have been out of there so quick. I would have been so stressed out so quickly. I should never do anything to my hair myself. I don't even know why my hair is pink right now, by the way. I didn't mean to have pink hair. I had an hour to spare before I had to be somewhere at dinner with my friend, and I said, I think it'd be a good idea if I bleached my hair. And then it was orange, so I decided, let me put pink over it to cover the orange, and now it's like a peachy color, which I do enjoy. It's just that I didn't realize I was doing that.
Together so that they stay in place. And then I just put this on like a cape, and I rest it on the beads like this, and then I try to grab it with one big grip. And then I have a bunch of clips, and I just start clipping it to my head. I seriously I just stick them everywhere. And then we're good to go. So now let's sew.
Oh, that is so beautiful. The way she just did that. Yeah. Oh, Gorgeous. Listen, she's killing it for doing this at home yourself. I am impressed.
This is the fun part. This is my thread. So you take like 2 arms length. You thread the eye of the needle just like you would if you're literally sewing. So now I have a needle on a long thread and then you just double knot it. It's super easy to sew them in. There's just one special knot that you do in the beginning.
I am not going to lie though, I hate and resent her for putting a track in her hair that is longer than her natural hair. I know that's the point of extensions most of the time. If not for fullness, it's for length. And it's just me, really. I mean, I just hate when I look at a girl and their natural hair is up here and their extensions are down here. You can either put K-tips right here in the really front area right here to cover up that hair that when you pull it to the front, and you can also just braid up a little bit of the underneath. It's really kind of uncomfortable, and I get why you guys don't do it, but to make it look perfect, you can do those 2 things. Or just have your extensions be longer than your natural hair, I guess.
Threaded like this. So it's like a little loop. The very first loop, you stick it behind the hair and behind the bead, and then you bring the needle up and you bring it between the 2 pieces of thread like this. Can you see that? I know the thread's so thin. And then you bring it tight, and that is what creates your very first knot, is when you put the needle between the 2 pieces of thread. That's how you secure the first stitch. I like to start like an inch back, then work my way up, and then work my way back. Personal preference. You take the hooked needle and you put it, see my bead is right here. You put it behind the bead, and then through your extension like this, so that it's like this. Then you open up your thread and you put the point of the needle between the 2 pieces of thread like that. I like to keep my finger in between the 2 pieces of thread. So you see I have my needle and my thread right here, and you'll see both strings on either side. And then I keep my finger in between the 2 threads so that as I pull it up like this, because I have 2 arms worth of thread, so that the thread doesn't get tangled as I pull it through my hair. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm feeding the thread through my hair, and then eventually you get down to the knot, and there it is. Now it's stuck on the knot that I made. So that is your very first stitch.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here thinking, damn, the things we do for beauty, right? This looks like the most work doing it yourself. If I was standing in front of this section doing it for her, I could thread that shit real quick. Doing this yourself, ooh, sensory overload again. Trying to like weave that through, not get it tangled, pull it all the way, do it again and again, like do it 100 times across my own head. I'd rather do anything in life. I really would.
So from there, my stitches right here, I'm gonna do one really close. So I go behind the hair that's in the bead, through the extension. I have the knot thread right here, the thread coming out of the needle, and I keep it on both sides. And I put the needle between those 2 threads. So it's like this. You can kind of see that? And then pull it up. Having the thread go between these 2 pieces like that is what gives you the knot. Does that make sense? I don't know how to describe it because I'm not a cosmetologist educator. Now I'm just gonna stitch all the way around.
Girl is getting after it. She is putting those stitches in. Boom, 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 boom. Ow. My fingers hurt for her. My head hurts for her. Everything hurts for her. But I guess it's worth it if you have thick, full, gorgeous looking hair with some extensions in. They do last for quite a while, and I guess it's worth it. It's just... I don't know. I would spend my last dollar just having a hairstylist do this for me because I couldn't. And I know I keep saying that, but how many of you could? Comment below if you could do this yourself and you could handle it, because I, for one, couldn't. Maybe this is therapeutic for people. I don't know. This seems like hell.
I'm done. Okay, so when you get to the end, I'm gonna do my last stitch. Okay, this is how you tie it off. So you have your thread and your needle. So then I'm gonna hold the thread like this. I'm gonna cut the needle off. So I'm gonna separate these 2 threads. So I have my thread that came through the needle between these 2 knots. I'm gonna take one of them up here and the other one out here. So one of the thread in the knot and one of them is outside of the knot now. And now I'm gonna like triple knot this. And then there's a lot of extra, so I'm just gonna cut it. And that's it. I'm done with the weft part. Okay. Are you exhausted yet? I'm exhausted.
Let's admit it. She ate that up. Though it wasn't like 100% perfect, it was pretty close to it. And she's not done yet. She's about to perfect this shit with some tape-ins, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
One right here. I take my tape on the hair. Take a thin strip of hair. Like that. Get another piece. I think tape-ins are the most self-explanatory. So take another piece of tape, put tape on this one. The hardest thing with tapes is taking them out. They are messy. They're a mess. And then all you do is just stick it to the other one. And that's it. That's a tape-in extension.
She's doing a great job so far. What I like to do is go back and forth, side to side when doing tape-ins, just to make sure I put them both in the same spot on either side of the head. Or else you end up with like an uneven amount on both sides, and then it's just like, I don't know, it just creates a mess otherwise. But also doing the tape-ins just at a little bit of a slant is always good, so that the hair falls forward and doesn't fall backwards, right? We don't want to put the slant this way because then the hair will go backwards. We also don't want to put it directly downwards, or else it kind of just like also doesn't look right. If you just put out a little bit of a diagonal, it creates the perfect draping effect onto your face. You can then put some layering in and it looks just beautiful. But you don't want to do the angle too crazy, or else it puts too much tension at the top part of it.
You just scratch it off like this, and then you just peel it off. New piece of tape.
So if you don't already know what tape-ins are, I mean, she's showing us, but you put one piece on one side and the other piece on the other side, and then you put it on, boom, in between a little bit of your natural growing hair out of your head, and it goes and seals together, and it just stays permanently until you take it out or until it grows out. You know what would be the perfect thing to finish this style? Super Gloss Ultra Frizz Defense Spray. It's literally like a keratin in a bottle. This is going to remove the frizz from your hair and make it last, okay? Last between washes even. You can wash your hair and this product will still make your frizz go down. You can literally skip your keratin treatment at the salon. You will be like, what the hell? How does this even work? Is this magic? No, it's just a really good product. Okay, it's sort of also magic, but it is so good. It literally is the miracle product for so many people suffering with awful frizz during the summer. Plus, you just get a giant bottle of it, make your hair so glossy, so smooth, and finish this style off perfectly to make our hair just glisten and glow. It is linked down below, and you can also check on the YouTube shopping link as well.
I've been at this for hours. Okay, I added 3 tapes per side.
Another quick point with tape-ins is it's great to do a bricklay method where you say you put one right here, one right here. You want to put one right in the middle above it so that there's no gaps in between the extensions. Hate gaps. Gaps are bad with extensions, or else it just looks... I was gonna say Britney Spears 2003, but I felt bad.
Okay, cute. Finally done. So I'm gonna move on with my life because I've been doing this for hours. That is how I install my own tape-in and beaded weft extensions. I hope that was mildly helpful. I once again do not recommend that you do this on your own.
She did it. She did it really well. I'm very impressed, and they look good. They look really good. If you're not already subscribed, can you please help a brother out and subscribe? Because I love you so much, and I want you to come back every single week and check me out. And check out my new hair every single week, because that's basically what I do, is change my hair every single week. You never know what Brad you're gonna get. I keep it spicy on this channel.
So the day that I've been waiting for, ever since I decided to grow my hair out again, is finally here. Because today, I am going to get some long hair again. I'm literally so freaking excited about this. And yeah, I could technically just wear wigs, but I don't know if any of you have like worn wigs before, but like the idea is like great, but in reality it's kind of like a hassle. It's like fun for a party, but not for everyday use, you know, and I want to have something a little bit more permanent. So I got tape-in extensions, bitch.
Girl, those don't look like your color. I don't know if I'm saying something obvious, but it feels a little obvious. Whose head is that going in? Is she doing a custom color? Why are they black? I have a lot of questions.
I got so much hair. I literally got 4 packs of 90 grams per piece. So this is like almost 400 grams. So yeah, I got a shit ton.
Wait, sorry, she's about to make her bob, her chin length bob, into 18 inches? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. Impossible, actually. I'm gonna say impossible, unless she puts a literal tape in every millimeter on her head. Otherwise, you're gonna see this short hair pop out everywhere. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to put into my hair today. I'm so excited. Also, yeah, I got some darker ones because I want to have like dark streaks in my hair, you know. Hello and welcome to my hair dyeing station. So I'm just going to lay these out here. This is the hair dye that I used on my roots. but I didn't cover the bowl up. So a lot of it is like dried up. I don't know if you can see it, but I literally had like double the amount of hair dye that I have now, but everything else is just like dried up.
So we're using yesterday's hair color to color extensions. No, you need the developer to be fresh in color to have it penetrate the hair's cortex and put those color molecules in so the color molecules stay in there forever and ever.
So I think I'm just going to add some like hot water to this. And then I also got the red hair dye that I got on the rest of my head. This is kind of annoying because I wanted to have like jet black extensions, but those were all sold out. So basically this is just a very dark brown, and I don't want it to be brown, I want it to be black. So I also have to dye these black. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of stuff, and I was actually planning on like finishing my whole head today, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be possible. I think I'm going to use like the watercolor method, because that's gonna be way faster. Yes,
okay. When you color extensions, you're about to see what happens, but you wanna dip the hair in colored water. You don't need to color every single extension yourself or any wig, any fake hair that's not on your head. Dip that in a batch of warm water and the color you want. It is so quick, so easy, and it fully saturates each hair strand perfectly. Watch and see.
Got a beautiful glass vase. And you're gonna put some hot water in there. Then some of the hair dye. I added some cold water because I don't want to like melt the glue off of the extensions, you know. But let's see if it works. I think it's actually fine. I mean, the glue doesn't look like it's ruined. So, sick boy! And the only problem is that it is a little bit too light though.
Wearing no gloves when working with red color is ballsy as f and scary for me because damn girl, you are about to cover those hands in red. It is going to be such a mess.
So I do have to add some more dye to it. And then I'm just going to dye all the extensions.
This is so satisfying. I love dipping hair. Ooh.
Oh, shit. Look at all these hairs, boy. Oh, beautiful. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to dye the ends of the hair. And since this literally took me like less than 10 minutes, I'm just going to do the same method.
I love that she's not dipping all the hair at once because if you let those extensions sit in with that glue on the top, it is probably going to mess up the glue a bit and take off that outer layer of like paper off the glue. And then you're gonna end up with messed up glue and unusable extensions. So that would be a pain in the ass. I'm glad that she is dipping the top and then dipping the bottom after. Really great technique. Yes, we're on a roll today.
It works and it's beautiful. Oh,
it's so fun. It's so fun.
Anyways, I dyed all the hair and it's laying over here. Ooh, beautiful red hair. And I also dyed the black hair. So I'm just quickly going to rinse these out with cold water and then I'm going to let them dry. And then I can finally put these bad boys in my hair. And I really want to finish it today, but I don't think that's gonna be like possible. It needs to be finished today because tomorrow I have to be somewhere and I do not want to go there with like...
Of course, it wouldn't be a hairdresser reacts video if somebody wasn't doing something in a rush with 0 time. You have to, you guys always have to do it when you have 0 time to spare and you need to do things quick and it needs to be done perfectly correctly, which also never happens. So this should be awesome.
I mean, on camera, it honestly doesn't look that different. Whoa, that's kind of insane though. On camera it looks like it almost matches, but in real life it definitely doesn't. Like, this is definitely a way brighter red. Damn, look at my hair, it's so long and pretty. On camera it looks almost the same. In real life, definitely different. So even though I just spent 2 hours blow drying everything, I now have to dye it again. I'm just gonna dip them in some dye again.
I really wouldn't worry about the extensions being too perfectly matched to your natural hair because when you have it mixed in there from the roots down, it all blends together and it gives you kind of like highlights in between the lowlights of your existing hair.
It took a while, but I feel like it actually works. So what I'm now going to do is, well, going to do now is they're going to tape them all in my hair. Hold this for me, please. No, I can't see anything. No.
Girl, there is no way you're having somebody hold a mirror behind you that is this big. No, no. There is 3-way mirrors on Amazon. I see this all the time. Linked below. They're so easy and you just hook it up to a wall and you can see the back of your head. Just invest in one. They're like $15.
You don't want it to touch the scalp. A little bit below that. You're moving the mirror.
It's in.
It's
It's not.
It's in.
It's in.
And then I'm gonna smoosh it together.
Girl, what the hell was that? That sectioning was all over the place. It is like jagged, and that's not good. When you're putting an extension in the hair, you do not want the tension to be uneven. Also, I don't know what you were doing with putting the extension upwards and then pulling it down and then putting the extension on top. Section out just a little sliver of hair, a tiny little see-through sliver of hair. Put one on top and put one on bottom and sandwich that shit together. Don't do it like the way you just did it. It's too risky.
That is very long and very pretty. Okay, you can do the sandwich underneath them. To be honest, it would be the fastest if you just did like everything.
But
it's not how I want to live my life. Ah, yes, perfect, beautiful.
It looks crazy back there. I know it.
Next row is going to be the fun row. I got the black hair extensions, which are looking very crusty.
This is the part that I'm not understanding. We're gonna put a row of black extensions in for what? That's gonna be a challenge trying to get this to blend and look any sort of natural, not natural, just like that it somewhat grew out of her head in some which way.
why is that?
I don't know. I guess it's gonna match my natural hair state, so. Oh my god, that's gonna be so sick.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So sick, boy. Oh my god.
Oh.
These extensions are on top of each other, smushed around. Oh, they are not very even. And I know it's her first time, and I know I should be gentle parenting right now, but I don't like watching people do it for the first time on their own head because it can get really bad and really fucked up really quickly.
It is the next day already because yesterday I was just kind of over it and I just wanted to not touch my hair. I do have like one little problem, and that is that I definitely put too many extensions on the back of my head. Like I almost put them like on top of each other. I don't have a lot of extensions left to put on like the top part of my head, and this is like the most important part.
Okay, this is another thing. When you're doing extensions professionally, you have to map the whole thing out before you start, right? You have to understand how many extensions you have. You need 2 of them per application. So you take the total amount, you divide it by 2 for tape ins. In the back, I'm gonna put 10, and the sides I'm gonna put 5. We'll see what happens after that. Maybe we'll place in a few extras here and there, but you really need to understand what you're doing before you go in there and how many exactly you can use, or else you're gonna be fucked with no extensions left, and that's not fun.
You know, I mean, this is like the part where everybody is gonna like tell whether I have extensions or not. I might end up taking some extensions out of the back and then placing them on the front. I generally like to wear my hair up. I saw that if you wanna do that with extensions, you have to like stick them on diagonally.
Why did you do that? Why did you choose to do that?
If you pull your hair in a ponytail, then it just like flips over like this. So I think I'm gonna try and do that. Okay. Ooh, headache.
Okay, I understand what her idea was. And yeah, you can put them diagonally. You don't want to put them vertically. That was basically vertical. Diagonal, just a soft diagonal. You'll still be able to put your hair up, it'll all be fine. That's gonna put tension at the very top of where you applied that extension, and it's going to pull that hair, and it's gonna be uncomfortable and annoying, and it's going to probably give you some tension alopecia, and it's not gonna be cute, it's gonna be held, and your hair's not gonna fall out. It's not gonna all fall out, but you might get a few strands here and there.
Can I pull it behind my ear? Oh, that's kind of weird.
No, that's why you don't do it like that. No.
It may be ripping some of my hair out, which is definitely not a good thing. So I might end up with a few bald spots. But, you know, I've been bald twice in my life before.
You see how it's also like bunching up because the hair is being pushed so far forward that it's just like laying on itself very weirdly. It doesn't look natural, babes. Let's take that one out and reapply it, all right?
So far, it's looking very fake.
Yeah.
I have 10 more pieces, so that means like 5 places where I can put them. Ugh, and I think I really need to focus on the front.
There's no extensions placed on the entire top of her head yet. Fuck. And she only has 5 more to use. You need like 20 more, at least, to cover this head. I can only imagine what the back looks like. With your hair length and your texture, all the layers you have in your hair, you need to go really low with the extensions and extremely high. To the point where like you can almost see them on the top of your head.
Which I feel like is also just going to make it look very fake. But yeah, it's already looking fake right now. So I guess I don't have a choice. And I just have to put them really far up front. Because this is just... No. Okay. Let's see if it looks better now. Ah!
Not quite.
I'm like spending so much time on my hair, but honestly, I don't even know if I like myself with long hair. It just looks... I don't know, it just looks weird to me.
It looks weird because the application wasn't right and you need to cut this hair. You don't just leave it like this. If you put heavy layers into this hair, just the way your natural hair is, you will blend it decently well. It just, you can't leave it as ba.
Oh, shit. Oh my god. It actually... looks so good. I actually can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Just look at it. I really did that. And I think that like the average person is not gonna see that I'm wearing extensions because I did a pretty decent job at blending them. But if you like no hair, then you're definitely gonna see it.
It looks okay from the front. From the back, girl, it's basically just a bunch of string hanging out of your hair. You've got a lot of holes to fill. We need a lot more extensions next time. Oh, the back is scary.
Today I'm going to be attempting to do a sew-in on myself. It's been years since I've had a sew-in. Either I'm gonna do like a wavy look or I want to do like straight with layers and like curtain bangs. So I think I'm gonna try to do the wavy look first, and then maybe once I get bored or whatever, then I'll straighten it.
All right, if you guys don't know what a sew-in is, it is complicated. Well, we already talked about one kind of sew-in, but she's talking about a braided sew-in. She's about to basically cornrow her hair and then sew extensions onto her hair. It is so not easy. I am not an expert in this. I'm gonna do my best at explaining the good and the bad of what she does, but I just take it with a grain of salt because I'm also not an expert at this. She's now getting some of that wave pattern out of her hair, so her hair is a little bit easier to braid.
Now that it's all blow dried out, I need to figure out where I want my part. So usually I always do a middle part, but as you guys can see, that's like my problem area right now. So I always do the middle part so I get the most heat. I'm thinking I might have to do the side part this time around if I really want to like let that part grow in.
So the reason why she has to decide where her part is now is because she's gonna do something called leave out, where you leave out a section of hair that is just your natural hair to go over the sew-in so that it conceals where you put the sew-in. You get me? Well, you're gonna see it in a second anyways. It's crucial that she leaves out enough hair on both sides of her part and on the back to cover all of the weft, because if you do all this and then you don't have enough hair to cover the weft, you are absolutely fucked, because it doesn't come out easily and you're gonna spend probably hours doing this. So hopefully she gets it right.
I actually not be that bad. So I'm gonna just go ahead and try to do the middle part and we'll just see how it goes. So I went ahead and sectioned out the middle part, made a section. Well, I put like where I want the part to be, and then I left like about a ½ inch on each side because I don't want to leave too much hair out, because if I do end up straightening it, I don't want to put too much heat on like my whole head. So I'm just gonna go ahead and braid this part down.
She is going in with that section. The fact that she's able to do this without even seeing the sides of the back of her head is quite impressive, I must say. I do not know how she's doing it, but she is going at it. And I think the first section she's going to cornrow herself, by the way, is the perimeter of her hair. Some people do leave out in the perimeter as well, but I think she's gonna braid all of it down.
So I took the perimeter out and I went like around the ear. So I'm just gonna braid, oh yeah, let me show you guys the back. So I'm just gonna leave a little bit out in the back. I should probably leave a little bit left out, but I'm gonna go ahead and braid all this up, and then I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna braid down the rest. Pretty much I'm just gonna do straight backs to make it easy.
Look at her go with these braids. I mean, that is talent. I mean, she is just cornrowing her entire head, and I am so impressed. Now, sometimes people cornrow in kind of like a spiral. She seems to be doing it differently, where she's doing straight back cornrows and she's not kind of like spiraling it all together. Because girl, trying to do a spiral braid on yourself is nearly impossible. She's kind of doing it, actually. I lied. She is literally doing it right now.
Just braids going straight down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and braid it. Probably I'm just gonna let the camera record, I guess, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after I'm done braiding. Okay, y'all, so we're getting somewhere. So I pretty much just did the anchor braid going around right here.
I'm not even gonna pretend I know how she did that. I can see now how it's done. I just don't know how the f she did that to herself. I don't really know the rhyme or the reason for the pattern. I feel like I don't have a lot to add here, but just enjoy it, I guess. I'm impressed. The sections are decently clean. She's making some big moves over here. And we're about to do the fun part where we sew the extensions into the hair. Some people at this point glue wig caps to their head and then sew on top of that. That I think is to protect the braids more so they don't get kind of like fuzzy and kind of fall apart and get weird as you wash your hair. But I don't think she's doing that.
Yeah, I did them all just going straight back all the way around, as you can see, and then this is what I'm leaving out around the perimeter. So we're trying to get somewhere. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the flip over method, because since I'm doing it on myself, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Also, I know my braids aren't like the smallest, but again, since I'm doing it on myself, it just makes it a lot easier, because I don't want to sit here for 2 hours braiding my hair. I'm gonna just go ahead and thread my needle. I'm gonna do just 1 arm's length since I'm doing this on myself. If I was doing it on a client, then I would have probably done 2 arm's lengths, just because I would be more comfortable with it. But it's just gonna be a little bit easier to have a little bit of a shorter thread. And like I said, I'm gonna try to do the flip over method, at least at the beginning.
Girl, flip over method. We're doing flips too as we do our extensions? I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds scary and it sounds difficult, and I'm excited to see. It's amazing how much she is handling right now on her own head without flinching. She is going in there, and I believe she does sew-ins for a living, by the way, because she just said she does clients. So I don't know how the fuck she is even doing this. It's kind of hard to see because her hair is dark, and it's a bit dark in this video. I don't even know. She just sewed a track in the back of her head without looking. What the fuck kind of sorcery shit is this? How the hell?
I mean, my thread is a little bit too short, and I actually am feeling a lot more comfortable. So this next one, I'm gonna go ahead and make it longer. But I'm gonna go ahead and tie that off because I'm about to go ahead and flip it over. We have the first row down. Okay.
So when she says flip over technique, she means she's kind of going in like this type of thing. Like a snake. She's kind of going across one row, flipping the hair over and going the opposite direction with the rest of the hair. Flipping it over again and then going the opposite direction again. So that she covers her entire head like that. I just don't understand how she knows where she's sewing. You're just feeling for it and just going for it. All right. Listen, some of us are more talented than others, clearly. All right, she's making her way across the head. We're getting to the front. The good stuff is happening and her hair is looking lengthy.
So I'm more than halfway done. So I'm gonna show y'all what we have so far.
Oh my God. It's looking so fierce. I love extensions so much. Fun fact about me, it was like my first love was extensions. I don't know why, but giving people length when they don't have any is just so fun and like the most transformative thing I feel like you can do besides like a completely new hair color. And it's just so good. I don't know. Who doesn't want long hair, right? You look at yourself and you're just like, what if I just had hair down to my ass? Is that just me?
And I've pretty much just been doing the same thing all over. Just sewing to one side, flipping it over, and sewing it back to the other side. I just finished with one bundle, so this is how far I got with just one bundle. So this hair is super thick. So I'm about to move on to the second bundle, and I'm gonna just let y'all watch me as I do it because it's pretty much self-explanatory. And yeah, it's super simple. I'm hoping that I can fit all of this into my head because I want it to be super full.
Listen, I know that she says she wants her hair super full. That's a total preference. More power to you. I don't like it when people wear too heavy of extensions. Like, it's just always a dead giveaway when people have extremely thick, crazy thick looking hair that is just so unnatural. And I know not everybody goes for the natural look, but if you are ever going for the natural look and you're doing extensions, I say go and do your extensions on the thinner side. Like, don't do too many. You don't need the heaviest weight of extensions. You don't need that much bulk on your head. It makes your head look bigger and you look like a bobblehead when you have too much hair in your head. So personally, I'm not into that, but we'll see how much she does. And again, personal preference.
Now that I'm at the anchor braid, I think I'm gonna stop doing the flip over method, and I am just going to first sew the weft right under. So I want it to lay really flat at the top. I'll go ahead, I'm gonna still double it. I didn't mention this, but I have been doubling the wefts the whole time. It's just a little bit faster to me that way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sew it like right up under there. And then once I do that first row around, then I'm just gonna take just one and just do like close it off. And then I think whatever I have left, I'm gonna try to squeeze it in like the middle somewhere because I really want to use all of the hair. I'm not gonna do the flip over method from this point on. I'm just gonna sew it, cut it, sew it, cut it.
We are on the last section. Oh, it is looking so good. She's just doing that kind of like horseshoe shaped section now, which is gonna finish it off besides the leave out. Right in the beginning, I said she didn't leave out the front edges. She did. She just braided them down to get them out of the way. That was my bad. And we are on the last thing, and it's looking good. She is getting that shit in there nice and tight, and it is looking so neat. I cannot believe she's doing this herself. I'm shook.
Okay, y'all, so I went ahead and finished the breast. It was just really hard for me to do the top on camera because I had to pay a little bit more attention, but I'm pretty sure you guys got the gist of it, and it's all in. I did end up using the full 2 bundles.
Girl, that looks heavy. That looks like it's 20 pounds of hair on your head. That is a lot. And now for the styling portion.
Okay, y'all, so I've officially finished the entire look, and this is what it's come out like. Just super natural, pretty, so bomb. Honestly, it didn't take me that long and it wasn't that hard. I usually wear my hair in a middle part, so that's pretty much what I set it as. Yeah, I could also do like a side part with it. I can put it up in a ponytail. I'll show you guys in fact. Put it in a bun, and then even if I wanted to do like a half up, half down, that would be a possibility.
This looks so beautiful. I'm literally going to cry. This is so pretty. Oh my god, dude, this looks so good. What a transformation. That hair looks luxurious. I am loving the look. You look like a mermaid, and you absolutely ate that install. And for those of you who didn't know what a sew-in is, there you go. That's all for today. Check out more videos of mine here and here, and I'll see you next time. Bye, beautiful.